sex in Mommyville. Speaking of sex, my husband and I used to be the spontaneous, you name the surface kind of couple. There wasn't a location we didn't fantasize about and then pursue under grave threat of social embarrassment. 2 locations come to mind: top of the mountain in Maine and the open terrace of a New York restaurant. Zip up your dirty minds. No, we did not invite the couple next to us in the dining room to join us in a voyeuristic orgy. No! We were not assailed by pine needles, hedgehogs, by wild boars or ants in the middle of the act. We were quick and discreet, and only brown Mother Earth stuck to my buttocks. These moments have remained in our collective psyche as the epitome of youth, wilderness, and the lack of credit card debt. They bear in our minds that prestigious mark of soulful compatibility, the acme of sexual satisfaction, which, by the way, is also a human ideal. And that's what we strive for now, to recreate the top of the mountain or the open terrace of a New York restaurant. We try to pretend that if we do get caught, it won't be by 4-year-old monster, our Miss Aphrodite extraordinaire, or by psychically empowered infant T-Rex, or by my parents, who live 2 floors above. They're here to love, but also to interfere, to bicker, to advise, and to complain. But by anonymous strangers who will be secretly aroused by our longing, throbbing, bopping bodies. Dream on, lovers, dream on. My husband, whom for the sake of argument I shall call Zeus, has been relying on the art of espionage to lure me into bed lately. He has invented an advanced language to communicate to me his readiness, his willingness, his aliveness, his babe, I got 4 hours of uninterrupted sleep last night. Such antiquated endearments. Oh my God, I forgot to take off my shirt for this top. Okay. All right. Such antiquated endearments as, Artemis, darling, I want you bad. Or, you want to do it tonight, my warrior goddess? Or any variation of the hot adjective as in, you look really hot in that armor. Or, take it off when you cook hot foods, you hot virgin. Cannot be heard in our household. For one, I no longer cook. For 2, my breasts would leak on the supposed soup or pasta I was cooking. And for 3, if I took it all off, so would the 4-year-old and declare it Naked Day. Thus, my husband's predilection for a semi-ulcrum of a Morse code. Case in point last night, when from the moment he walked through the front door, or rather sex, was on his mind. I was decked out in my abysmal, gray, torn, stained outfit. I hadn't washed in an eternity. You could squeeze my hair and produce enough oil to fry potatoes. And as for the bags under my eyes, well, you would need a primer plus non-water soluble paint to cover those babies up. My husband winked at me 11 times to signal the number of days he has been deprived of sex. The winking eye seized on the one exposed portion of my body, the left collarbone, to demonstrate via intense gaze how hot he still thought I was. I didn't care. I was worried about the winking eye, which inevitably got tired and landed on Aphrodite, who was blocking, as usual, his passage to me. "What did you do today, sweetheart?" he said to her.
"I painted a building, Daddy, with doorman, and in the middle of a rainforest that was also near a beach." "That's right, Daddy. When are we going to the beach? When are we going to the beach, Daddy?"
"When the economic crisis will be over and your mama Artemis sells her brilliant novel," he said, sending me an embodied An encoded wink of a different kind, but one that was still very deeply related to sex. Not only was I hot, but I was a smart, successful writing machine with potential to alleviate the specific economic crisis of our household, i.e. lack of bedrooms and good old-fashioned cash. I winked right back. My heart somersaulted. My vagina flooded my old tan pregnancy underwear. And my husband emerged as the hottest man on 3 very important planets, Mars, Earth, and Venus. The gods were all pointing to victory. Today was the day when our thoughts would once again be dominated by sexual positions. As in, which one is least likely to wake up super sensitive infant? Sex attempt number 3. I throw myself at Zeus, maniacally. We kiss each other. Trying to recreate the ardor of the previous moment. We dig into each other's flesh, breaking down our mental blockages, resurrecting the top of the mountain imagery, the restaurant terrace imagery, the open field on Central Park imagery, the fucking in the lobby of our building imagery. We are going to bring this act of love to its natural conclusion. 6 minutes into the act, we hear a noise. We hear a noise. Unlike the rustle of a mouse running through the corridor, or a clanging of a heel on a wooden floor, or the dangling of a key at your door. We become paralyzed in the midst of the happy thrust. Neither of us can speak, or breathe, or look at the other. We know what that noise is, but we won't admit it, won't say it out loud. Zeus, who never swears, bleats in my ear like a goat enunciating. Frick. Frog. Fack. Fuck. No, darling, no. No, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's oh, it's something. It's something. It's definitely something. You couldn't have locked the upper lock to keep your mother out? I did lock the upper lock. I did lock it. Speedily, he resurrects the Downy missile defense shield and hides himself in a blanket. Has your family ever heard of the phone? It's like I'm in communist Russia, Zeus complains. You've always known that's part of the deal, baby. When you married me, you married a tiny sliver of the former Soviet Union. Oh, please, not another lecture on how there's no privacy in Russia. Mother takes care of us. She takes care of our children. And you ingrate. Oh, hello! Anyone home? Not only does Mother Athena live 2 floors above, but she has the key to our apartment. For natural disaster emergencies only, of course. I wanted to bring back Aphrodite's ballet slippers. She has ballet tomorrow, right? Right at 9 a.m., right? Artemis, can you hear me? Grandma Athena, Aphrodite exclaims in happiness and abandons leapfrog and spinach brownie, the spinach having been discarded into the crevices of the couch, and throws her arms around my mother's waist. I cannot see this per se, but I can feel it. I can visualize it. I imagine my mother plopping on the couch next to Aphrodite when suddenly I feel my mother's brain moving in the right direction. Your mother and father working on the computer? They getting work done? Yes, they're working. They're on probation, Aphrodite replies matter of fact. I didn't want to forget the ballet slippers, so I brought them back now! Mother says this loud enough to penetrate steel walls